What if I told you that in a single afternoon, an AI organized my entire inbox into 17 labeled folders, audited my staff's performance across 5 clinic locations, found a marketing problem that was costing me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost revenue, and fixed a broken analytics dashboard, all without me lifting a finger? I'm Dr. Obi Nawobi, and I'm a board-certified vascular surgeon, and I run 5 clinic locations across Central Florida. And today, I'm going to show you how I'm using AI tool called Victor to serve as my executive assistant, my chief marketing officer, my chief operating officer, and my chief financial officer all at once. If you own or run a medical practice, this might be an important video you watch this year. Let's get into it. Here's the reality of running a medical practice that nobody talks about. You go to medical school, you do your residency, you do your fellowship, if you did any, years and years of training to become an excellent clinician. And then you open your practice and suddenly you're not just a doctor anymore. You're a HR manager, you're a marketing director, you're an accountant, you're a CEO, overwhelmed with the desk, your paperwork, your phone ringing, multiple browser tabs, you're drowning in emails, you've got hundreds, sometimes thousands of unread messages, insurance authorizations, vendor invoices, staff scheduling issues, patient questions, marketing reports. You open your inbox and it's just chaos. You're marketing, you're spending thousands of dollars a month on Facebook ads and Google ads, but you have no idea which campaigns are actually working. Leads are coming in, but are they turning into patients? How many are no showing? Which locations are converting and which ones are bleeding money? You don't know because nobody is tracking it properly. Your staff accountability is not there. You've got a scorecard somewhere in a Google Sheet that you created with good intentions, but you haven't looked at it in weeks. Meanwhile, some team members are hitting their targets and others haven't completed a single task all month. And you don't know about it until it's too late. Your finances, QuickBooks is connected, but when was the last time you actually sat down and analyzed where the money is going? You're reactive instead of proactive. And here's the thing, you can't hire a full-time executive assistant, a CMO, a CEO, and a CFO. That's easily $500,000 a year in salary alone, but most practices can't afford that. So what do? You either do it yourself, which burns you out and takes away from your time with your patients or your time with your family, or it just doesn't get done. Until now, introducing Victor AI. I'm not talking about ChatGPT or some basic chatbot. This is a fully autonomous AI that connects directly to your business tools, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Go High Level, QuickBooks, and actually does the work. It lives right in Slack. You talk to it like you would talk to an employee. You say, Victor, organize my email, and it does it. You say, Victor, analyze my staff scorecard and tell me who's underperforming. Done. Pull my marketing data and tell me why we have so many no-shows. Done. It doesn't just give you information, it takes action. It creates labels, it builds reports, it sets up automated workflows, and it sends you scheduled digests. Let me show you exactly what it did for my practice in just one day. First, as an executive assistant, role number 1. The first thing I asked Victor to do was organize my email inbox. Now, I'll be honest with you, my inbox was a disaster. We're talking over 300,000 messages, years of accumulated emails with zero organizational system. Within minutes, Victor scanned my last 30 days of emails, analyzed the senders and content patterns, and proposed a complete folder structure. I'm not talking about just work and personal. It created 17 color-coded labels organized by function. A green clinic folder, which sub-labels for staff, communications, insurance, and authorization, patient scheduling and reports. A yellow finance folder with banking, invoices, payments, and payroll. Separate folders for legal, marketing, vendors, meetings, medical education, personal, and real estate. Color-coded, organized, professional. And then this is the key part. it didn't just create the folders. It went through my recent emails and sorted them automatically. Insurance authorization emails went to clinic. Insurance vendor invoices went to finance invoices. Staff scheduling questions went to clinic staff. Here is where it gets really powerful. Victor then set up a daily automated triage. Every morning at 7 a.m. before I even get to the office, Victor scans my new emails, categorizes them, and sends me a summary in Slack. It tells me what's urgent, what needs my attention, and what can wait. Think about that. Every single morning I wake up to an organized inbox with a priority briefing. No more scrolling through hundreds of emails, trying to figure out what's important. My AI executive assistant already handled it. That alone will be worth hiring a full-time EA, even if it's virtual. And we're just getting started. Role number 2, Chief Marketing Officer. And this is where Victor found a problem that was genuinely costing my practice serious money. I told Vic to look at marketing data in Practice Scale, this is our CRM, to figure out why we had so many no-shows. Here's what it found. Across all 5 of my locations, we had generated over 1,500 leads year to date, but our overall no-show rate was 28%. And at 2 locations, it was at 50%. Half the people who booked appointments weren't showing up. And if you're running a medical practice, you know what that means. Every no-show is a wasted slot, it's lost revenue, it's staff sitting idle. At our procedure prices, we're talking potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars left on the table. But here's the real finding, and this is what a human marketing director might have taken weeks to discover. Victor dug into the CRM automation workflows and found out about 168 workflows in the system. Only 20 were actually published and active. The rest were sitting in draft mode. Our no-show follow-up workflow wasn't running. Our appointment confirmation sequence was also off. Patients weren't getting reminders. Facebook lead form was still in draft. New leads were waiting hours or days for response instead of getting contacted immediately. Our missed call text back was in draft mode. Do you understand what that means? We were spending thousands of dollars per month driving leads through paid advertising. And then when those leads came in, nobody was following up automatically. The entire automation system was turned off. Victor didn't just find this, it gave me a prioritized action plan, which workflows to activate first, what the expected impact would be, and a timeline for implementation. That is what a CMO does. They just don't look at numbers, they diagnose the root cause and give you a plan of fixes. And Victor did it in about 20 minutes. Role number 3, Chief Operating Officer. I have a company scorecard, a Google Sheet where staff tracks their weekly KPIs, things like follow-up calls made, marketing meetings attended, webinars completed, patient flow tracking, basic accountability metrics. The problem, I'm in surgery most of the day. I'm traveling between 5 locations. I don't have time to open that spreadsheet every week, cross-reference it against targets and figure out who's falling behind. So I told Victor, hey Victor, look at a company scorecard and the performance dashboard and identify ways to hold staff accountable. Victor's scorecard analysis within minutes. Victor pulled both spreadsheets, analyzed every team member against their targets, and sent me a color-coded accountability report. Red means critically below target, yellow meant at risk, green meant on track. It identified specific team members who were at 0 on their KPIs, 9 weeks into the quarter with 0 webinars completed, 0 follow-up calls logged, 0 marketing meetings attended. It flagged locations where procedure volume was declining. It showed me that one of our 5 locations appeared completely inactive, and it didn't just flag problems, it gave me recommended actions. Have a one-on-one meeting with this team member, investigate why this location has 0 activity, set up a mid-quarter review for these KPIs, Then Victor set up a weekly automated digest. Every Monday at 7 a.m., it reanalyzes the scorecard and sends me a fresh report. So now I have a COO that never sleeps, never forgets, never lets accountability slide. I go into my Monday morning knowing exactly who's performing and who needs attention across all 5 locations without spending a single minute in spreadsheets. For any practice owner managing multiple locations or a growing team, this alone is a game changer. Can you imagine how much you pay for a chief operating officer? Role number 4, chief financial officer. Victor connects directly to QuickBooks. And what I'm setting up is a weekly financial summary that gives me the key numbers I need to make decisions. Revenue by location, which clinics are hitting target and which are falling behind. Expense tracking, where money is going. Cash flow trends, are we heading in the right direction? And spend versus revenue, that's the true ROI on marketing dollars. Payroll as a percentage of revenue, are we staffing efficiently? Victor already showed me from our performance dashboard that our company was tracking at about $646,000 against our $833,000 monthly target, about 78%. It identified locations were pulling their weight and which ones were dragging the average down. And here's what most practice owners get wrong about finances. They look at the numbers once a quarter, maybe once a month. And if they're disciplined, by the time you see a problem in your quarters financially, it's been a problem for 3 months. With Victor as your CFO, you get those insights weekly. Early warning signs, trend lines, anomalies, before a cash flow issue becomes a cash flow crisis. Victor already flagged it for you and it connects the dots between departments. Marketing spend is up, but procedure volume is flat. Victor sees that. Revenue is at one location dropped, but payroll stayed the same. Victor flags it. That CFO level thinking delivered by every single week without paying a CFO salary is awesome. Let me zoom out for a second. In one afternoon, Victor organized 300,000 emails into a professional folder system and set up a daily auto triage. It audited my marketing and found an automation system was essentially turned off, explained our 28% no-show rate. It analyzed my staff scorecard and identified 9 critical accountability gaps across 5 locations. It reviewed my financial performance and pinpointed exactly where I was off target. All that in one day. How long will it take a human team to do that? A team of 3, a team of 4, weeks maybe. And it will cost tens of thousands of dollars. Victor, it costs a fraction of a single employee, actually $100 a month. If you're interested, look, when I went to medical school to help my patients, I did my fellowship at Albany Medical Center in vascular surgery so I could perform complex vascular procedures. I didn't do all that to spend my evening sorting emails on chasing down staff KPIs, and neither did you. If you're a physician running a practice, whether it's 1 location or 10, you deserve to have a team behind you handling the business operations. Victor gives you that team. An executive assistant who organizes your day before you start it, a CMO who watches your marketing like a hawk and tells you where every dollar goes, even does the marketing for you, a CEO who holds your team accountable without having to micromanage, a CFO who keeps your finances visible and actionable, all in one AI, all working 24/7, all for a fraction of the cost. Listen, it's here. If you want to learn more about Victor and how to grow your practice, click the link below and you can use my affiliate link to join Victor. I'm not affiliated with Victor in any way. I know they just raised about $75 million to scale. So click my affiliate link below. But if you want more detailed information about how to build an entire AI operating suite in your practice to transform your practice and scale beyond 7 to 8 figures, click the link below. Schedule a time to work with my team. Thank you.